Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else. Welcome to Into the Elements, a exciting D&D 5th edition real play game that the Nerdy Niche likes to help put on for you with some of our wonderful friends here. I hope everyone is having a good week out there. And I guess it is about time to get into it. So our recap this week, our wonderful Air Genasi Thule has our recap. Thule?
Well, it was kind of a whirlwind of emotions. I was in love, and then I was having my face scratched off, and then I was back on the ship, and we were killing harpies. I don't know where Abe was. At some point, Rin, one of the crew members, was being drawn off the ship, much like I was, although he can't levitate, unfortunately. And Pal cannonballed after him with no means of flight until suddenly there was means of flight. He has wings? I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Thank you, Thule. So back to that scene on the deck of the Moonrise in the middle of the night. An angelic figure of Pal landing on the ship. Ettenbror, so stunned, bowed before as Rin had let go, run off, and vomited in the corner.
So as I land to let Ren off, I haven't completely landed. I'm going to fly up a little bit, and then they turn off, and I fall and just hit the deck.
Roll a d6 for me.
Give me a d6.
You take 1 point of damage to your face.
Oh, ow! I didn't tell those to go away.
I'm standing over Pal because I had ridden up on his arm.
Oh, yep.
And all of my feathers are fluffed up, and I'm just muttering under my breath in Aarakocra with my arms folded, staring at him.
Pal, have you always had wings?
Not until just now. I mean, not now. Now they're gone, but 30 seconds ago now.
Did you know you could do that?
Where did they come
from? I thought all of your talk of your great grandfather was just talk.
It is absolutely not, and I know that as of right now. Not right now.
So you did, in fact, jump off the ship, not knowing that you would be able to fly and save yourself.
What they said.
I didn't really think that far ahead, but things usually work out.
I'm gonna shrug.
I'm gonna go bandage my face.
Okay. While this is happening as well, Tamale has run over to Rin. She's all covered in blood from ripping that last harpy to pieces, and is checking on Rin, and then after about a minute making sure he's okay, runs to you, and this cold-faced kind of person that you met before just hugs you, and it hurts.
Oh, okay. Hey, awesome. Thank you. That's cool.
You're starting to not be able to breathe a little bit there for a second, and she goes, "Thank you. He's a good friend of mine.
Glad I could help.
I never wanted to lose a crewmate." Okay. What is everybody else doing now?
I'm trying to find just some first aid stuff to just kind of patch up the scratches.
Okay, when you're kind of looking around for that, Rin's like, I'm going to just come on.
Okay, let's go.
I'm gonna sit up on the deck, kind of look around all the corpses or whatever's left, and then sit down and begin a very sarcastic song of restoration.
Perfect. Oh, one thing I forgot to say in our intro today, sorry, Sonora will not be joining us. She is currently traveling and dealing with stuff for work. So,
We're lacking a little bit of turtle power tonight.
yep. But I believe Levi is planning on running Sonora as well.
If I have to. I promised her that I would not play drums on her shell while she was not here.
Oh,
Good job.
you didn't promise that I wouldn't.
I did not. And I fully support your notion.
Perfect. Okay. So, Julie, you're able to go down into the infirmary and get bandages and everything and get wrapped back up.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
And the song of rest, I will actually say, can carry on to everybody around the ship with Abe's awesome bardic skills and such.
So what does that do?
If you're using hit dice, you get an added d6 to whatever you're rolling.
Cool.
So does this count as a short rest right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Beautiful.
I'd like to look around the deck and see how I can assist in cleaning up and patching up anything that needs patching.
Okay.
I'd probably examine those too.
Yeah, you're walking around at this point. Brune has come up to the deck to work on repairs. He's swearing to himself, the dwarf that works below decks in the engine room, kind of the mechanic on the ship. But he's moving around, getting stuff taken care of. He also has Ridges up there with him. And you do notice at one point when Ridges is walking downstairs, he's just dragging half a harpy with him.
Food.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, what does harpy meat taste like?
Do you say that to Ridges?
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever tried harpy meat.
He looks at you and he goes, "Well, I'm glad you asked. Tastes like food." And then he walks downstairs.
I do enjoy food.
Amazing.
I'd probably examine one of the bodies too, see if there's anything of importance that would stand out on it.
Okay. So you guys there wasn't really a lot of damage done to the ship. Luckily, so it's easy enough cleanup. A lot of you are moving bodies off, just throwing them off the ship because you're over sea right now. And we're just kind of...
Is there booze on this ship?
Yes, definitely.
I think I need a drink. Who's with me?
Me. I'm downstairs.
Suppose
I know you're going to need a drink.
Okay. So with the commotion and everything, Cade has also woken up the ship's chef, and he's already working on making drinks and setting things up. He has alcoholic drinks laid out, and he also has like some hot cocos and some teas to like help everybody after the battle.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Welcome, everyone. It's always good after a hard-fought battle to have a little bit of creature comforts. So feel free to have a drink, calm down. Thank you for saving us, by the way. I appreciate it. I'm not a fighter myself. So there's that. Drink up. I'm going back to bed."
I'm going to take a hot chocolate and pour the alcohol into it.
I like where your head's at. That's exactly what I was thinking. Let's do it.
The best way, really.
Actually, after he sees you do that, he goes, should have mentioned they already have alcohol in them.
Perfect.
Double alcohol, never a problem.
Do what you want.
Exactly what I was going for.
Okay, so you're able to have some nice stiff drinks, very well prepared, very tasty. And if everybody
Strong.
wanted to try to rest now for the evening, you're welcome to.
I just want to go check in on Ren, so we don't have necessarily to role play, but just want to check in on him, make sure.
Okay, yeah, no, you're welcome to. So you go to him. He's come down too. He's been given the night off, and Kamali is watching up front or up top, and he has kind of a blanket wrapped around him, and he's drinking chocolate. And he actually walks up to you and he goes, "So first of all, holy fuck, thank you. So did I hear right? You didn't know you had wings, and you still jumped and saved me?"
Well, I once drank this drink that like said that it would give you wings, but like I didn't take it seriously. But like apparently it was right.
No.
Chartreuse cow.
I think that was it. That was the name of it. How did you know?
Oh yeah, that was made by Goliath.
Well, that's really, really stupid of you, but I really appreciate it. So thank you.
You're welcome, buddy.
So yeah, and he just he's like, I'm gonna go lay down. And he just heads off down the hall.
Sounds like a great idea, man.
Sorry if weird noises are in the background. Bowser has decided that it is time to play with his toy, and he's very growly when he does it.
I'm literally playing tug of war with this big bulldog right here right now.
So you guys are able to fall back asleep, get a good night's rest. Sleep becomes well to everyone except for our Kikol.
Oh no.
So, Kel,
Yes.
as you're sleeping, your dreams are carrying you off. You're dreaming about the night sky, the clouds flying over the airship, just how high up you are. And it's beautiful and freeing. And then your wings stop working.
Mm,
And there's a presence that you can feel.
Do I recognize this presence from dreams previously?
It's familiar that knot in your stomach comes, all your feathers fluff up, and you start to fall. And now the ship's gone. The stars are still around, but they start to seem to flicker. All of the stars are flickering. And then the weirdest thing, it's like the sky flips on end, and now they're below you as you're falling down. And this is somehow familiar as you're falling into what seems like a maze with candlelight flickering below you. And the stars that were around are now falling dead leaves.
Mm,
And you hear a voice that says, Kel, is it?
Am I still falling when I hear this?
Yes.
Okay. Is it coming from like any specific direction or just like around?
All around you. And you don't see where it's coming from at all. Like you don't see a figure currently.
Can I speak? Because I know my wings aren't working.
Yes.
So trying to keep a tremor out of my voice, I would probably just like shout, "What do you want? Show yourself."
Why do you want to see me so badly? Are you intrigued?
I just generally like to know who I'm talking to. Cowards hide their faces. As like all of my feathers are fluffed up and I'm just pretending I'm not terrified.
Yeah. He says, a fallen leaf hides his face from no one. Your brain can't handle it. All its glory and wonder.
I would just kind of be looking around.
Okay. You haven't seen him yet, and then your feet hit the ground, and your stomach kind of drops with it. And then you feel breathing on the back of your neck, and you hear the voice right in your ear say, "You were the one who dropped it. Tried, if not on purpose, but tried to release me. You caught my eye, little one."
I would try, and I don't know if I can do this since it is a dream, but like to summon one of my side blades and like whip around. Not
Okay.
throw it, just like
Okay, your side blade comes in your hand, and when you look up, so in front of you, you can see the figure, the large, massive, tall, but thin figure standing behind you, bent almost half of its size down so that it can talk to you. And still the blacked out face, but the crown of thorns and its horns curled back and fingers and hands about twice the length of yours, kind of clutched over, not quite touching, but clutched over you. And then you turn around and he's not there.
so like I like see a glimpse of him and then he's gone.
So you saw him in the mirror. You saw that he was standing behind you, but when you turned around, he wasn't there. And then it's just you again.
Well, we all make mistakes sometimes. As I'm like looking around for him.
I'm curious. Are you all trying to stop my ascendance?
We're not trying to stop anything. We're just trying to get something back that the princess lost.
What if I need them?
Well, it's not very nice to take things that don't belong to you.
They belong to only me. They were taken long ago. Don't
I'm just like trembling. I don't have a response for that.
And one thing you notice when he yelled, one of the mirrors cracked next to you.
Can I examine that specific cracked mirror to see if there's like anything beyond it?
Yeah, do you touch it? Or do you just look at it?
I poke it with my side blade.
Okay. You poke it with the side blade and it cracks more. On all the mirrors just start cracking and spider webbing. And you just see yourself fractured. And then you just see that figure in all of the cracks surrounding you. And then all of the cracks start breaking away. And it turns, all of the glass shards turn into falling leaves, and you start to fall again. And as you're falling again, his figure grows to incredible size. And its hands start coming out around you like a cage, and the bony wooden fingers start closing around and forming almost a bird cage around you. And he says, "Don't worry, Arkiko. I like you. We will meet for real soon enough. Pleasant dreams." And then you jolt awake.
Cool. I would immediately run to Thule.
Okay, you all have separate rooms and cabins in here, but you're welcome to run down the hall and
Run down the hall and just start banging on Thule's door.
One second. Open
Thule,
the door.
Mirror! Mirror!
What?
Mirror guy's back. Mirror guy's back.
Where?
Did you have a dream? I had a dream. It was really bad.
I did not have a dream. I was out.
Mirror guy with the hands and the crown and
Here, come in.
Just like all
What
of
happened?
my were poofed. And I tell you all about, like, in full detail, all of the dream.
That sounds horrible.
Who has the mirror right now? Did we give it to Abe?
Right?
Abe has it.
Yeah.
But you believe he left it at home.
Okay. Cool. So I'll be like, but it's
I
like,
think that's at least what you told them, right, Levi? Yeah.
Yes, it is currently in safekeeping in a vaulted area.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
like there's no way it could have been like escaped that vault in Abe's house. Right?
I can't imagine. Would I have any idea?
Give me an Arcana check.
Cool. Flopped right onto a 1. That'll be a 6 total.
You're getting that feeling like you left the like stove on and like something bad's gonna happen in the place that the mirror is, and you're convinced that he's probably out.
Do you want to stay here tonight and just
Yes, please.
okay.
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So like these artifact things, that could release him. Should we be concerned about that? If they were his once, maybe.
That
Or do you think he was just like trying to get in my head?
I mean, it definitely seems like the sort of creature that would try to get in your head.
It's true.
Like,
Literally,
literally.
in my head.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
It's weird that I mean it's the mirror's not here.
But like if we when we broke it, if like he somehow put like a tracker on us or something.
That would be awful. I didn't have a dream. I wonder why he's singling you out. Did he say anything?
Just that he liked me, but not in a nice way.
No, I don't imagine he could like anybody in a nice way.
And he wanted to keep me basically, and that we would meet soon.
Let's not have that happen.
Ideal. Would prefer.
You mentioned the artifacts, like the ones that the princess had and the ones he was trying to steal as cult,
Yes.
and that they were his before.
Well, because I said that we were, it's not nice to take things that don't belong to you, and then he got real mad and yelled about how they actually were his, and then everything started cracking.
Maybe we should ask Sonora and Abe about them.
Maybe that might be a good idea.
But maybe in the morning. I don't think either of them wants to be woken up in the middle of the night.
I get the feeling Abe would be really upset if we woke him up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on his bad side.
Yeah. I'll have Squall keep an eye on the room. You can stay in here.
Thank you.
Power numbers. We'll kill the mirror guy if he shows up. How's that?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, so everybody gets a good night's sleep except for Kel. Will you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Yep. Oop. That's gonna be an 8.
You have 1 point of exhaustion. You were not able to fall back asleep. And you're exhausted, you're terrified. You had a very hard night all the way around.
My feathers
Squall
are just
keeps you
sticking
company.
out in weird angles.
You're sore from the combat and then that awful nightmare. Hey, but you all start smelling a wonderful breakfast being cooked, all kinds of potatoes, eggs, meats, different things, fruits and vegetables, fresh squoze juices. There's a coffee tray set up.
You can hear me singing from the kitchen. Gonna make some breakfast for my super great friends.
I beeline for the coffee.
Yeah, and Cade's happy to have your help in the kitchen there.
Is Kel visibly worn out and stressed from the night?
Yeah, I'm sitting just like with a cup of coffee, like feathers sticking out, just like staring into it.
I would approach them and be like, if you could have bags under your eyes, you would probably have them right now.
Well, we have to be happy about my feathery complexion then.
What's up?
Well, the mirror guy is back, maybe.
The mirror guy, he's back? Did he come to the ship last night?
Yeah, well, in my head,
In your head.
in my dreams. Had a
That-
dream, and he was there, and it wasn't fun. But
That
Tooley's
is
fine.
because of the lack of sleep. What did he say? What happened?
Oh, he just. Why don't we wait for everyone to come and then I will share in detail, so I don't have to keep reliving it. Just like start sipping the just shove my head in the coffee cup.
I'll try to prestidigitate their out of place feathers back into place. Just in the background.
And this dining room area, there's a few different tables. I'm assuming you guys are all kind of sitting together. There's a big round table that all of you can kind of sit at. Also, there's a smaller table that a lot of the people that are working are eating at, and you're seeing them kind of come and go, switching people out kind of thing to get food. There's also a figure that none of you have actually seen yet on the ship. There's a kind of small table off the side, and there is this massive Goliath kind of hunkered there, taking up most of the table. The chair seems to be bowing a little bit under him, and he has the plate looks comically small compared to him, but it's just piled with food. And he's just sitting there shoveling food in, not really paying attention to any of you. But yeah, you guys.
Roar kind of sits up a little taller and tries to puff out a little bit.
Give me an intimidation check.
I think my charisma was -1.
You can use your strength. I always allow that for intimidation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not proficient. So that would be at 17.
17. You do that, and you see him kind of you see his eye actually turn and look at you, and he kind of just looks at you for a second.
I give him a head nod.
He does the same, and then he just goes back to eating. Okay,
That's
and then
carry over from having to grow up with my brother.
yep, yep, a little bit of PTSD there for you. Okay, and so everybody can make their way to the table if that's what you thought you would do. I don't know if Abe sleeps in or.
I actually would have been in a trance for part of the night. I don't actually sleep, so
Oh, yeah.
I was probably out wandering around getting coffee before anybody got up.
Yeah. And just back in your room, reading a book or something? Or?
I'd probably be up on the deck watching the sunrise. Probably coming up with some soliloquies on the failure of my teammates.
Failure or success?
Eventual success.
Stupid or-
Are the fires worse or better?
Okay. So most of the group, except for Abe, would come to the table so that Kel could share if they want to.
Yeah, I think at that point I would give just a quick summary of everything that happened in the dream, and just kind of try to focus more on the concern about the fact that the mirrors seem to be breaking and that this guy wants to collect the artifacts and potentially me.
So, quick sidebar there, Mr. DM.
Yeah.
Like, unbeknownst to the group, I have the mirror. Do I have any sense that anything's up with it since I'm literally wearing it?
You haven't looked at it or anything, have you?
No.
No.
But I haven't heard any like sloshing of glass or anything like that.
No. No. You
Okay.
haven't.
All right.
Should have cracked it.
No.
Ah,
So I think when you were telling the story, I feel like Sonora would slide over a little vial with, as she was just hearing you talk, just mix something up and just slide it over and just go, here, drink this. It tastes awful, but it should help.
Thank you. And I like take it and like chase it with coffee.
No.
This guy does not leave you alone, does he?
Just
no.
with her
He
in.
looks at the group for approval. He's like, oh, yeah. Sorry.
The one time Edinburgh makes a joke and nobody gives it to him.
I'm like, no.
Sonora's neck just kind of like extends out and looks at you for a minute and then turns back.
After breakfast is made, I'm just going to be up at the top of on the top deck, just sitting there going, "Come on, Wings, come on!" Trying to make his wings pop out again.
At one point with that, you've realized very quickly you should go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yep, doesn't seem
Fly. And I'm not going to do it, but I am going to look over the edge and seriously contemplate whether or not I should just jump off.
only works if I'm in imminent danger. That's
Do I see that?
see him doing the
Like,
yeah,
well,
you're
if he went up on the
you
deck
definitely
thinking about
see him
jumping
doing it.
off, like, would I see that?
He's not making like a secret of it. He's kind of like looking over the edge going.
If Abe sees that, he's going to look over and be like, "You owe me money. Don't do it."
Yeah, money isn't everything in life, man.
Especially when it's not yours. I know.
Yes, the money.
I just got this perfect image of you standing, staring over, and Abe just kind of like slowly walking over and kind of looking down, look at you, looking down, and then saying that.
Don't do it. You owe me
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
So we're like above the cloud line, right?
Yeah.
As we're flying? Okay. And is it cloudy or is it the patches that you can see through?
There's patches you can see through. It's a pretty nice day so far, at least.
Okay. And it's all just water underneath us still?
Yep.
Okay.
Every now and then there's some like coral reefs kind of sticking out in some places, but for the most part it's just ocean.
Okay.
Okay. So as travel goes by for the day, is there anything that anybody would like to do?
Kel, did you want to ask if Sonora or Abe knew anything about those artifacts and the guy in the mirror owning them?
Yeah. I'd probably go up to the deck to find Abe. With
I'll just be following along for moral support.
like, just like constantly like looking over to make sure Tuli's still with me.
So you see Abe and Pal having a conversation at the edge of the ship.
Do I see, as I'm walking over, do I see that Pal is also looking over the edge?
I think at this point they're just kind of talking. So,
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
So I'd walk up to them and like, Abe, we are 100% certain that that mirror is safe and locked away, right?
I will put my hand over my chest and bow and say, absolutely secure.
Like, perfect. I have some questions to ask you about the guy who lives in it.
Okay. I'm doing everything I can to not start singing Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror, but yeah.
Because I had this dream last night where he showed up again, and then a bunch of mirrors cracked, and he was also yelling about how the artifacts belong to him and that they were stolen long ago. So just wondering, what exactly do you know about these artifacts that we are retrieving?
I'm going to kind of look over at Pal and look back and give this kind of quizzical look, and I'm going to kind of beckon to like go over to the nearest bench, like, because I'm sure there's probably some like rowing area. I don't know. But is there some sort of chairs up on the deck?
Yeah, there's benches
Okay.
around that you can.
All right, I'm going to just kind of slink off there very kind of secretly while beckoning to come over with me. And when I get there, I'm going to pull a pipe out and light it.
Leaving me unsupervised, rookie mistake.
So I would follow and just kind of be like standing. I wouldn't sit on the bench. I'd just like stand like at ease, just like watching you expectantly.
This would be easier if we keep this quietly between us. I suggest you sit for what I have to say.
Should I watch Pal? Okay.
Do I hear that?
I've been following Kel.
Okay. But yeah, say, yeah, I think he's having some doubts about his
Okay.
existence. So you might
Okay.
want to be friendly. Or either that, or he thinks that the clouds are pastries. I'm not sure.
I'll leave Squall with Kel.
So I would sit next to Abe, just kind of like patting Squall.
So this man in the mirror that you speak of,
More of a creature, really. Man.
can you tell me about the relationship with your father?
Kind of like tilt my head. Just stare silently.
I'm simply trying to, I know that you don't know me very well, but I genuinely like to help you with these questions that you have. But I'm going to need some backstory so we can work through this together.
What does this have to do with my father?
Well, it seems that you've undergone some serious trauma. And
Yeah, I broke the mirror and this thing came out of it at me. And now it wants to take me back, apparently.
I'm going to put my hand
Back and I go, I'm sorry. I'm a little
on their
bit
shoulder
I
and
didn't sleep well last night.
put my hand on their shoulder and be like, I'm here. I'm willing to listen to you. I can help you get through this.
What do you know about the artifacts?
Specifically, artifacts are vague. I have lots of artifacts.
The artifact that what's the princess's name? That Princess Aldia would have been bringing for her engagement. It was a artifact that was part of her dowry. It had been
It was a stone specifically.
a stone that was like a treasure of her kingdom that she was bringing to us as a gift.
Ah, yes, the stone. I do know for which you speak. I need my notes. While I'm looking for these, Abe is going to continue to kind of pat their shoulder, and I'm tempting to kind of play this off as more of a psychosis than anything else that they're concerned over.
Can I do an insight check on him, like to see if he's like genuinely is just kind of going along with this, or if he's like trying to hide something?
Okay, to kind of see if he like believes you or not, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do an insight check.
Ooh.
And Abe, if I can have a persuasion check.
That's going to be a 27.
Damn.
I took my expertise and my insight because I was proficient in it. So,
I know Abe has some high scores too, so that's why I'm kind of waiting.
we shall see.
I think he's froze.
Is
Yeah.
he frozen?
Oh,
He's just very concentrated.
It actually kind of looked like it for a minute. I was oh, he's coming back. I can't hear you.
He's muted.
You're muted.
I'm getting out actual dice because my little rolling app thing doesn't work with the camera running at the same time, so that's why it's taken me a minute.
It was perfect though because you had such a contemplative look. It took me a minute to realize you were actually frozen.
All right, 19 plus 7 is 26, and then I think I have.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's frozen again.
The anticipation.
That would have been great if you actually froze too.
There's something else, but I'm not finding it on my app, so we'll just go with my 26.
Okay. So he seems pretty genuine, but you're still like really kind of struggling, like fully reading Abe. He's just kind of has an odd presence about him a lot of times, and it's really hard to kind of get that read. You're not sure if he does that just naturally or if that's kind of on purpose for him. He's really hard to kind of truly pin down what he's trying to get across to you.
The longer he's patting my shoulder, though, the more uncomfortable I'm becoming with this situation.
Do I pick up on their discomfort?
Yeah, it's kind of obvious.
Okay, then I'm gonna slide over onto the same bench that they're sitting on and try to like go for like a half like comforting embrace.
Just kind of like lean out of it. Just go, I don't really do hugs.
Okay. Then I will stand up and say, well, this has been a good talk. We should go check on your friend.
But the stone. Can you say something about the stone?
Oh, the stone. Yeah. What about it?
What
guy.
Can you tell us about it? Why were they trying to steal it? Does it belong to some horrible creature of darkness that's going to use it to escape from his mirror prison?
Have you been drinking?
God.
I just at this point, like, Thule is Squall like just like sitting with me, or is he like out like up and about?
He's wrapped up with you.
Cool. Because if he's just like on my lap, I just like stand up, like completely forgetting that he's there, and I just like walk away. I'm done with this.
I'm gonna walk over to Pal and be like, I think your friend has some emotional damage of some sort. You guys might want to have a chat about that because that was a very strange interaction.
Tully's right there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've always been a little weird. I mean,
Oh,
and I
okay,
would know.
okay. Hold on now. There was a very real thing that came out of that horrible mirror that we gave you. I've also had horrible dreams about it.
But they're
I'm going to lean over to
dreams.
Abe and say, I think she's crazy too.
Do I?
Well, let's not jump to crazy. I've dealt with crazy. This is pre-crazy.
Because if I hear Pal say that, I'm gonna kick him.
Give me a perception check as you were storming off.
That's a 23.
23. You hear that, but you're kind of past him at this point. You can go back if you want to.
Yes. No, I whip around and I go to fly
What's your
up
passive
into
perception?
My passive perception? Probably not high.
I would like to fly up to the crow's nest essentially. But as I'm doing so, just kind of whack Pal in the back of the head with my wing.
Ow. It's not cool, man.
At that point, when I notice the frustration and everything, I'm going to take a moment of introspection and think maybe I should have handled that situation slightly differently. So I'm just going to say it's a realm stone. What else do you want to know? There's 4 of them. As far as what they do, nobody knows.
Would I hear that if I'm
Yeah, he was saying it up to you as you were flying by. Yeah, she would have just smacked it, or they would have just smacked you pretty good.
Yeah, they would have just smacked me pretty good.
so I would come back down then. So nobody knows what these stones do.
I'm sure somebody does, but whether they still exist or not, I have no idea. But from everything that I've managed to study on them, there's pretty limited information. They're just very valuable because of that. But as far as there being beings in them, that's the first I've ever heard of that. But I am not an expert on these stones. I've never actually encountered one.
Do you know anybody who would have more information about these stones?
Well, my hometown had pretty much the best library and the guardians of those secrets, and they didn't seem, at least they didn't want to share with me much, and the books didn't say too much. So, no.
I
Okay.
wonder if Princess Aldia's family might know.
Well, I
Things
will
have been
say
with-
this, that these ancient stones, because of their perceived worth, because of how old they are, these royal families have been trading them back and forth for generations as a sign of, their importance, whatever that means. But as far as them knowing what their purpose is, it's more for show. That's my guess.
Well,
Someone must know.
The crown jewels, basically. They're a very valuable commodity. So if somebody has one, then they're perceived as, greater than us peasants.
Someone must know where they came from and how they started getting traded around like a crown jewel. Especially if they're magical.
Do I have any more information to give her, Mr. DM?
I know someone who would know, but I don't want to ask him.
So essentially, these have been around. There is you couldn't find any note of how they were made, where they came from. The things you saw is there were speculation, because they seem to be pure element in a way. There's speculation that might be some kind of key or something. There was a myth that you ran into at one point, a very, very old myth that's been translated from multiple languages, that essentially talks about that they believe that these were the stones that brought this plane of existence to what it was, that the gods used these as essentially the way of getting the other elements from their actual planes into this to spark the life of this planet.
Okay, I'm going to translate that into Abe speak for the sake of the group. So I will explain. There was a series of scripts, if you will, that I came across that build into this. The story goes that in the beginning, there were multiple planes of existence, and there was these grand beings or being that sent these tablets of stone with these markings on them to another plane to begin all life. I believe there was a garden of some sort. Most of this was written centuries after it happened, so it's gone through multiple retellings. So as far as what the actual word is and how true it is, it's mostly just parables at this point. But that's kind of how the mythology goes.
I could just like ask my grandpa. He might know.
So as Pal says that, I almost go to dismiss him. Then I remember that he does have wings, and I like think about that for a second. I go, you know what? That's not the worst idea I've heard this morning.
I'll see what I can do. Usually, like, I don't really like talk to him. He just kind of talks to me whenever he feels like it. It's kind of a really one-sided relationship, to be honest with you. Sometimes he comes into my head and he's like, "Hey, you gotta do something," and I'm just like, "Dude, I'm doing something else." And he's like, "I'm your great-great-grandpa, and I'm the creator of all light, and I need you to do some stuff."
Would you like to go sit down and talk about your relationship with your parents? Because I feel like I could help you.
I just go, don't.
I have quite a story to tell about my parents, man.
Little did Abe know he signed up to be a psychiatrist.
I am now Ableton Freud.
It's all about sex.
Don't forget the cocaine.
Sex, parents, and cocaine. It
All
works.
that's going on, by the way, Ed, I would probably try to approach the Goliath.
Okay.
By the way, you're going to need to rate this episode like R.
I always mark them not for children anyway.
For the best.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So yeah, easy enough for you to do. Were you gonna just, when everybody else was going up, you were gonna go approach the Goliath?
Yeah, while everyone's up on the top there, I'd probably go up and try to talk to him.
He just kind of looks up at you when you walk up.
Is there any kind of insignia on him as I'm walking up too, by the way? Or
like on his clothing or like tattoos or
tattooed or on his clothes, anything that
He's
I would recognize?
fully tattooed. They're all kind of tribally looking.
Would I recognize the tribalness to it? I'm guessing the tribe we're about to go fly to.
Give me a history check.
Okay. I rolled a 3.
It's hard to tell because you can tell from looking at it that it covers his body. So you're seeing just parts of it. So it's kind of hard to get like a real read on it.
Okay. So I'd probably approach him. Would he still be sitting at the table as everyone else was up?
Yeah, when everybody else was leaving, he keeps going back and getting more food. He's a big guy.
Okay. So I'd probably walk up and say, "You may want to slow down there, bud."
Why exactly?
He looks battle hardened too, right?
Yeah,
You may
he
want to
has
stay
some
a bit
scars
nimble.
and stuff. He's not wearing any armor or anything. He's actually just kind of wearing just kind of normal traveling clothes.
Okay. I'd say you may want to stay kind of nimble if something like last night were to happen again.
Yeah, I heard something happened last night.
And where were you?
Sleeping. I sleep like a rock. I didn't know anything was happening. Did you guys deal with it?
Yeah, you could say that.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
So what are you doing on the ship?
Getting a ride back. I thought they told you that I was hitching a ride.
Oh, right. You're the one.
Yeah, name's Drumnar.
So Drumnar, what can you tell me?
You are?
My name is Ettenbroer.
Okay.
You might actually recognize what that means too. In
Yeah,
giant,
what does it mean in giant again?
runt brother.
Oh, brother. He goes, he just kind of like smiles and he goes, shitty parents?
Yeah. You know, brother's the golden child.
So shitty brother. Fair.
Yeah. So what can you tell me about your people?
My people in Villar?
Yes.
They're Goliaths.
Well, I kind of assumed, but how willing are they to accept outsiders?
It's fine as long as you don't fuck shit up with the balance there.
Well, I can promise you I'll do my best, but we got a interesting bunch of people coming with.
What are you going there for? You picking up fruit?
If it pleases us.
Oh, you
And I
can't.
guess in some terms you could consider it fruit. We're looking for specific things. Have you ever been to the gladiator arena out there?
Where the hobgoblins sit?
Yeah.
One of our skirmishes, we got there at one point, but don't like going there.
Why is that?
Because we're trying to keep our trade going. And there's an army of hobgoblins that live there, and we have a peace treaty, kind of, vaguely.
So
We have
in
a truce.
theory, if we were to come from your tribe's location and kill a chunk of them,
Are you
that
going
would
there
be
to kill the hobgoblins, or are you searching for something?
all of the above.
Why are you going to kill the hobgoblins? Do you have an army ready to go? Or is it just a handful of you?
Oh, just a handful of us.
Okay, I'm assuming you fought goblins before, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, hobgoblins are different.
I think the army I fought too, if I remember right, in the past, it was hobgoblins, wasn't it?
I think that was one of the ones.
Yeah.
And that was one of the hardest battles you fought because they're very tactical.
Right.
They're much smarter than regular goblins, much more tactical. And he's like, they're not too bad as long as we keep the truce on. So if someone's sending you to clear the island, then you better have more than what you have.
We're coming to look for specific things. That
If
we've
you're
failed of.
looking for treasure, because that happens quite often, people come looking and don't come back. I would recommend not going in hot. They listen to reason. They're not mindless creatures.
It's unavoidable for me to go in hot.
Yeah, that's kind of what
You're not there.
that's what Endor is picturing in his head. It was just Pal is in his head.
Yeah.
So he says, in the past, I've fought hobgoblins before, an entire army of them, not alone, with my
With
own
an army? Yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough.
and they didn't exactly seem the most readable creatures then, as I watched them decapitate the man to the left and the man to the right of me.
Oh, they're hardcore warriors, but they have a code about them.
Being
I don't fucking know. I'm not a hobgoblin.
you seem to know a lot about them, so I figured I would ask.
We've dealt with them quite a bit. We have very little wiggle room. We've had truces in the past that fell apart very quickly. The one that's leading now seems to have a fair share of honor to him, and he's holding to it. We're holding to it. You will find out very quickly, landing in Falar, once you leave Falar, you're on your own.
Okay. Can you tell me?
Nothing against you. It's just we have a job to do. That's why we're there.
So you're not native to the land then?
No, we found out about an island that had fruits, coffees, different things that people wanted, but couldn't handle it there. It's a rough place. There's not just hobgoblins. There's giant lizards that will eat you straight up. It's not really easy to be there. And we wanted a better life, hardworking, honest life. So we do that. Any other questions, Runt Brother?
So he just kind of glares at him for a minute and kind of like clutches his knuckles on the
He
table.
just keeps eating. He doesn't care.
Takes this up for a second. And he just says, I suppose at this time there's not. But if you can give us any pointers as to what might make our transition with these hobgoblins easier, please let me know.
State what you're there for when they find you, because they'll find you. There's a shit ton of them. And maybe don't go, we're here to maybe kill you. That seems like dumb shit thing to do. Like
That makes sense. That tracks.
you're not the leader of your group, right?
I hope not.
Okay, good. Can I eat my breakfast now?
Your third or fourth breakfast there?
Yeah. I know you're kind of runty, but I need a lot of food.
Has anyone ever told you your people skills have a little work?
Yeah. Yeah, they have. Why I sit by myself in a corner,
Okay.
and then people come talk to me, and that's on them.
I mean, you don't
Do I
exactly.
need
You're
to
not
fucking
exactly.
put a sign up that's like, I'll be fucking rude?
You should. That's not a bad idea.
I don't feel like doing that, but
Oh, you're joking. Okay, I'll leave you be.
Goodness.
and he just goes back to eating his stuff, and he has this big, huge, like mug of coffee that he just picks up and starts drinking.
Like the 7-Eleven cups.
Big gulp.
It's like a mini cake, basically, that he's just like drinking out of. Okay. So was there anything else that anybody else was doing at this point?
So when he's talking this story about all of the stones and the creation and stuff like that, that's actually my family's expertise and all of that. So would I actually know some of that?
Give me a history check with advantage.
Pull up my history check here. Nope. I rolled a 2 for a total of 5, so I don't know. Okay. I remember my teacher telling me about it, and then I was not interested at all.
Yeah, you kind of do that thing for a minute where you're like, I know this. No, that was a different thing. Okay, never mind.
So should I jump off the boat again?
No, probably not.
Please don't do that. I had a bad enough night.
No. So about halfway through this day of travel,
More harpies.
no more harpies, but off in the distance, like there's some clouds, but they're off kind of farther to the west, a ways off, and Rin's back up working, and he comes like running down from the top and running into the captain's quarters to let him know, and you hear him kind of yelling, "Firestorm in the distance!"
Excuse me, a what now?
And he ran by you because he's going to tell the captain, but then he comes out and he goes, "Let's have everyone go below deck. We shouldn't come in contact with it. It looks like it's going the other way. There's weird weather that happens on these oceans. There can be all kinds of things. I can see fire in that one, so it's a firestorm. We don't want to go in there at all. But everyone below deck for now. Safety first on Moonrise. Always.
Always.
Always?
Always.
I mean, I'm sure there are some circumstances.
Go
where-
downstairs.
Isn't this ship made of wood?
Go downstairs.
Okay.
You're gonna be fine.
But what is
Listen.
fireproof?
Let's go downstairs.
It's everything proof. You're fine.
Okay. Just
So-
gonna like, just like
I would try to
And
bless.
as he pushes you all down, he just closes the door.
As we're going down, I would like lean into Kel and tell them, I don't think this is fireproof.
I'm pretty sure wood isn't fireproof.
I'm pretty sure it's notoriously like extra flammable.
I would, on the way down, I would try to bless the person at the helm and the navigator.
Okay. I'll allow it, yeah. Everything seems to go fine. After about 20 or so minutes, Ridden kind of leans downstairs and yells, "We're past the storm. Storm's going the opposite way. Come back on deck if you'd like."
We're not burnt to death.
I feel like during that 20 minutes, Kel would have gotten a bucket of water.
Just in case. Perfect.
Pal's just sitting in the hallway staring off now.
Yep. Okay. So another day of travel goes by fine. And night arrives. Anything anybody else wants to do? This is the final night of travel. You'll be arriving of what you understand, kind of first thing in the morning.
I would go to Pal before going to bed and be like, "Hey, so I didn't sleep so well last night. Do you have anything to help me sleep, like tea or otherwise?"
I'll say, yeah, I've been chowing down on some of my special pal puffs, but here you go. You can have one of those,
Oh,
and
thank
then I think you and me and Tuli, we should all have a sleepover in her room, and we can all just hang out and talk.
Like, that's a great idea. Let's go get Tuli.
Yeah.
As I like just like swallow the Pal Puff whole.
Devoured.
Yes.
Come in.
When I
come
notice
in.
they're getting ready for bed based on that earlier conversation, I would like to take off my armor in my room and not going to uncover the mirror, but I just kind of want to watch for any disturbances while I'm kind of trancing out,
Okay.
just in case there's some credence to what they said.
Okay. So as you're in your trance there and the mirror's out and you're not looking and it's covered and everything, about halfway through your trance, it feels like breath on the back of your neck.
In a sexy way or a creepy way?
Maybe both.
Maybe both. Mostly creepy.
Depends what you're into.
I don't know what you're into, so but way more creepy, unexpected, not really wanted.
I feel like Abe would probably be slightly aroused by that, so we're just going to go with that.
Bards.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll write a song while I'm thinking about it, studying the mirror. Maybe this was actually the beginning of Man in the Mirror.
Your stage name later on was Michelle Waxon of the Waxon Five.
It's a fine French band. Michel Vaxon.
Okay.
Okay, but do I see, so other than me getting the heebie-jeebies, is like the mirror moving? Is there any?
No.
Okay, when that happens, do I get any sense of like heat or any tactile sense about the mirror, or
Nope.
do I see any sort of auras or people talking to me from the shadows?
Nope. Just that one instance of someone being very close to you and breathing on the
Okay,
back of
when
your-
that happens and I kind of recover and realize it, I'm just gonna go stand outside of the room that they're in and listen for any like increased breathing, any like strangeness coming from the room.
Okay. Give
Where
me
we're
a
having a
perception
slumber
check.
What?
Huh?
We're gossiping.
where
Yeah.
we're having a slumber party because we're just gossiping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are.
What did you want me to roll?
Perception check.
Did you hear about that guy who came to the kingdom?
Really?
Ooh, interesting.
I heard that the milkmaid.
15.
Ooh.
15. There's a moment that you feel like you hear like creaking of heavy footsteps inside. and there's just like a weird, uncomfortable feeling. But that's all. You don't hear a voice. And then after like a few moments, nothing.
Gross.
Is there anybody awake on the ship that I don't particularly like?
I don't know which ones you don't particularly like. Or
Well,
you
we'll put it in
particularly
another
like.
term. Anybody that. Wait a minute. No, we'll hold off on that thought for now.
Okay. Perfect. Are you just gonna go back in, go to sleep?
Yeah, I'll go finish my trance. I'm sure there's like some sort of chest or something for your personal goods in there. So I think I'll put my armor in the chest while I kind of hang out for the rest of the night.
Fair. Okay. I need a Constitution saving throw from Kel.
Stop being mean.
Not being mean.
15.
You are stoned.
Hell yeah. I take it back.
They're all just they're both just braiding my hair.
Did you have one of those pal puffs and give one to Tuli as well?
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Okay, both
yeah.
of you give me con saves as well.
Just sitting there, just staring at giant bug eyes.
Bird eyes, just like, whee!
I got a 22.
22. You're fine. You're enjoying it. Like it feels good, but you're just kind of, you're at the really kind of more talky stage. You're just
12.
12.
I'm the one doing all the gossiping.
This one's hit you harder than most of them normally do. And there's a moment that you have no idea what's happening, and there's just people touching your hands. It's like braiding your hair.
I feel like at one point
And you just start laughing.
I'd also be like, maybe if I give you one of my feathers, your wings will appear again. I'd be like hitting him on the head.
That's a good idea.
Oh, that's a great idea. I'm just gonna. I'll cherish this forever and ever.
I cast levitate on him.
Oh my god, you're flying!
I'm doing it.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
I can only imagine stoners with magic.
20, actually.
Okay.
Great.
That doesn't freak you out that you just started levitating randomly.
It's a normal thing now, right? I can just do that.
Yeah.
That's why druids all have the good berry spell. You know that, right, Adam?
That's what good berry is.
It's a good berry.
They're cheese puffs,
Berry.
basically. They're Cheetos.
I'm hungry. Look at me apparate.
Oh, could you imagine? Anyway, so this time everyone gets a good night's rest. And in the morning, fairly early in the morning, there's a call, land ho, normal kind of stuff. And if any of you come up, so there's still breakfast prepared and everything for you before you get off the ship. They take care of their passengers here on the Moonrise.
Top-notch service.
Yep. Good at what they do. They do it a lot. That's their motto, actual.
That's our Yelp review.
But any of you coming out, bright sunny day, not very many clouds in the sky. You're descending, and they're pretty good size island in front of you with massive trees. And and you're coming towards kind of a small village. There are the side of the island that you're coming to. There's a good amount of area that is kind of cleared out. But everybody that would be looking, give me a perception check kind of up the island to see what you can do.
I rolled a nat 1 total, but
I can't tell if that's a 13 or an 18. Hold on.
11.
14.
5. Okay.
7.
Nice. So is 14 the highest there, or what was Edinburgh's? Okay.
I think me and Tully and Cal are still a little, feeling a little bit of the effects from last time.
But Cooley actually, I believe, had the highest one there, right? The 14. So, so for Cal, you start looking at the island, and then this big looming shadow comes over you, and you turn, and it's a cloud. And you're like, oh. But you're kind of distracted for a moment. The rest of you are just kind of seeing this island. Julie, you can get a kind of better view on it. You notice like one of the cleared out areas, there is starting to be like new growth there. And you do notice like way off in the distance, one of the large trees seemed to kind of move on its own a little bit. Not like it like up and moved, but just kind of like shake a little. And as the ship is descending more, you can start making out people walking around. Most seem to be Goliath, larger humanoid figures, gray skin, mostly bald, and a lot of them with like these very large like wicker baskets like on their backs filled with fruits and different things. As the ship is arriving, there's a Goliath that seems to be kind of towering over the rest of them, that's walking towards the docking area for airships. There are like, you see some sea ships docked as well, but there is kind of a elevated platform that the airship is going to, and there's no other airships around. But this one, he's walking forward, and he has 3 of these massive baskets on his back, and he has a big, like a very large kind of like straw sun hat kind of on, overalls, that kind of stuff, and he's handing baskets off to people as he's walking up, and he walks up right as everything lands, and the planks come down, and your captain comes out and says, thank you for traveling with us. We are planning on leaving for about a week or so, do another drop off, and then we'll be back to pick you up, and we'll wait until you're done. He gives a big toothy tabaxi smile, and he says, hope you had a wonderful journey on the Moonrise with us. You were wonderful. Thanks for the assistance the other night, and I hope you enjoy your stay in Desil. I don't know why you would stay here.
I'm going to look around and say, I might actually fit in some of the beds here.
Okay, and then do you all start walking off the ship?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll be the first to I'll just start running off the ship.
Okay, so that big Goliath that came up to me, everybody's kind of like watching the ship come in, kind of looking. A lot of people just kind of started going back to work. But the one that's greeting you there, he goes, "Welcome to the island of Jasil in the small town of Falar. I am the mayor of this town. I am Garak."
Hello, fellow tall person.
He's looking down at you. When you say that. He's pushing 10 feet. And he's probably a good, like, almost 5 feet wide. Like, he's a big guy.
Believe it or not, I'm very large for my race.
And as you see him more, like, he starts taking off his hat and he's sweaty brow, he kind of wipes it. Obviously, I've been working. And you get a better look at his face. He has massive scarring across his face. Most of his nose is gone. Part of his lip is gone. And he goes, "We don't get a lot of visitors here. Are you here for picking up our tropical fruits, our coffees? Are you here for other reasons? How can we be at your aid today?"
Yes,
That is not an answer.
we are here for all of those things.
Well,
Usually, if people are coming and picking up fruit, they're taking crates, lots of crates, and that's the only reason they're here.
we have some business outside of town.
Adventurers, whatever you call yourselves,
Yeah.
joy seekers.
Oh, definitely not.
We are the Powerpuff Strike Force. Perhaps you've heard of us. We're pretty legendary.
That is.
In one town. We're legendary in one town.
He thinks about it for a
In
minute.
one inn in one town.
Yeah, that's right. That is the dumbest name I have heard of adventurer.
I mean, we weren't really
There's been a lot of adventuring parties.
It's a bit of a work in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's in charge? It's not.
As soon as
him.
he says that, I'm going to walk in front and say, I'm sorry about that. This is hired help. We're actually here on an archaeology dig find. I need to get directions to this specific area. This is just the cook.
Makes more sense. What was your name?
Abe.
Abe. And the cook, what was your name?
My name is Porter Augustus Lancaster. You can call me Pal. I'll reach out my hand to him.
He shakes your hand and he goes, "You are a lot." And the rest of you,
Tuli.
Tuli, nice to meet you.
Squall.
Squall. Yes.
Arkiko.
Almost didn't see it there. You have a Goliath with you.
We do.
Yeah, my name is Edinburgh.
Oh.
It's nice to meet you, Edinburgh.
No, he was trying to like muffle what he was saying.
He heard you, but that's why he kind of like paused for a minute and then he just went, "It's nice to meet you." And then
I'm Arkiko.
you're Arkiko. Nice to meet you.
Like,
And this is our friend Sonora, and I'm going to go on the shell.
I had to get one of those in there.
What is her attack modifier?
Whack.
It's like Rafiki.
That's exactly what I was picturing. Thank you.
Did he freeze again?
He did.
No.
Whatever that thing you're holding is adorable, Sarah.
It's the little axolotl. My friend got it for me. It goes sad
Yeah.
to you.
Oh yeah, that's adorable.
Oh,
Rona really likes those axolotls.
They're the best.
All right. What modifier do you want?
For her unarmed strike.
He's gone again.
Well, her bite is +6. She doesn't have anything else written down.
It would be
That
the
was
same.
unarmed.
Yeah. So does a 21 hit you?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
it's like
So
snapping
hold
her.
her punch a bit, but you take so I believe her damage modifier is a +3, right?
Yeah, she's a 1d6 +3 on her snap.
Okay. So you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage and it just clocks you
Hold
in the face.
Hold
With
on,
a
I have
backhand,
reaction.
Just bam.
I have reactions.
That was a very mean hook there, Sonora. Nice job.
I was holding back.
Don't want to get on her bad side.
Well, I mean, can
So
I
what
dodge
button did I
anything?
get to?
Sorry, what?
Can I dodge or something?
That was part of the armor class. It just went above your armor class. So
So I don't get So I don't get an action. Okay, that's fine.
you can do something in retaliate.
In response, yeah.
Yeah, but the attack on you was successful.
I'll look at the mirror and say, "So what fun is there to do in this place?"
Oh, and then Sonora hands you a little ointment to help with the bruising.
I won't accept it.
Okay.
Are there bars? Like, is there somewhere we can go to like hang out? What's there to do in this place, man?
Hal, we should probably stay focused.
We have a
I am going to open my notebook and add a 1% interest fee to her debt, though.
fair.
That's a good response. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, it is the morning. We probably don't want to day drink. We should just, get on with the job.
Usually eat and drink together as kind of a family and a tribe here. Welcome to join. Where at on the? It was Abe, correct?
Yes, sir.
You said there was a specific place you were trying to go on the island for a dig.
Yeah, it's a coliseum. There used to be a coliseum. I believe it's not under friendly territory, though.
It is not. That is hobgoblin territory. We will not stop you from going there.
Do you
We
have
do
any
not.
advice on how to get there, perhaps undetected? Or if there's any, perhaps, I don't know, most coliseums have an underground. I would like to avoid hobgoblins if possible.
It's hard to. If you have a stealthy group, there's lots of tree cover. If you are stealthy enough, you might be able to get past them.
Just look at Pal.
But
My armored hands just cling a little bit.
yeah, he kind of looks at all of you and he says, there are hundreds of them. They have watches regularly. They might find you. If they find you, the best advice I can give is don't try to just fight them off. try to talk to them.
Do you
Maybe
trade
ask
with them
to
or
talk
anything?
to their leader. Their current leader seems to be reasonable. We have a truce going with him, but I must say the only aid we can give is in the town. We cannot help in any way against them. We have fought many times. Our truce is always very flimsy.
Any chance you could broker a meeting between us and this leader?
Not really.
About
We
how
don't really have a way of getting information back and forth. We just try to stay out of each other's way.
far of
There-
a journey is this Colosseum from this town?
It's close to 2 days travel. After about a day, you'll reach the boundary line. We can lead you up to the boundary line if you would like. I could send someone with, but that's as far as we go.
Are the hobgoblins amenable to if we were going to approach them and perhaps attempt to speak at the boundary line?
It's potential. There's potential for it. It's happened before. It's worked before. I would suggest, well, first of all, how do you all hold up in a fight?
We killed a bunch of harpies on the way here.
I'm just gonna like kind of stretch out my muscles.
Realize I'm like 3 times your size.
Yeah, you're only about half as cool though.
I'm just shaking my head, and I'm also like half of Pal's size, so like I'm tiny.
So what I'm getting at is hobgoblins respect nothing more than a display of martial prowess.
Ooh, Marshall. Hmm.
Of any kind, they respect. I've seen magics be respected by them as long as you are willing to fight. They are willing to work with you.
Interesting.
There's a reason they hold the Colosseum.
What is that reason?
Huh?
Like, what made them choose the Colosseum to take place or to take refuge?
What I understand, when they arrived to this place, they found the Colosseum. It's been here, I don't know how long, many, many years. But the biggest thing for them is a good death is to die in combat. So they've learned about what Colosseums are generally used for, and they use it for that. So they might challenge you.
I think we can deal with that.
Easy enough.
Kind of shuffle my very unused spear.
I kind of like puff up and like brush off my uniform.
The worst thing you can do is to try, if you sneak in and get into under the Colosseum itself, that's one thing. If you sneak in and attack them in a cowardly way, you will die. They will not hold back, and their whole army will come down on you.
Not ideal. Noted.
I've seen deals made with them successful. It's rare, but it has been successful. The last one has not come back.
Cool.
So I assume it did not go over well. They were pricks. So that could have been part of it.
Yeah, we don't try to sneak up on anybody. We do all of our fighting head on.
Some of us can't sneak up on people.
Hmm.
I keep people alive.
But you are welcome to, we can sell you basic wares, fruits, food, coffee beans, anything like that while you are here. You are welcome to stay here. We do have a area or a functional inn. You take care of yourself.
How
rooms?
how good is your coffee?
Part of why we're here. It's part of what brought coffee to people's lives, which you would actually know. Coffee is a rather new thing in this world.
As somewhat of a culinary connoisseur like myself, as our the face of our group, Abe said, I am the cook. Would I be able to get like a free sample so I can see, how I like it if I want to buy some?
He looks around for a moment, and there's somebody walking by with a basket, and then another person walks by, and he just reaches in and he grabs this like hard bean thing, and he drops it in your hand. It's not. It's like a hard shell. And it's
Breaks
like
all his
big.
teeth.
I'll bite it and be like, I'm sure that'll be delicious.
He's your cook.
He's
Believe it or
really
not,
good.
He is actually very good at cooking.
Okay. Feel free to stay here for, I assume, your last evening. We will take care of you the best that we can. And when you do, you go and deal with the hobgoblins. We did not send you. There is no aid from us the second you leave there.
Understood.
Thank you,
How long
Mayor.
ago did the last group leave that you were talking about? Like, is there any chance they're still around?
It's possible. It hasn't been very long. Maybe a couple weeks tops.
And what was their reason for going there?
Similar to yours, they were looking for an item.
Did they happen to mention what it was?
No, the leader was very rude the whole time he was here. He wore a mask. He never even took his mask off when he was here. They were all wearing colored robes. They called them something. They were the children of something.
Cool. Great.
Excellent.
One step ahead of us.
Well, maybe the hobgoblins got them.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Or maybe they got the hobgoblins with their creepy mirror boy. They have their mirror.
I should prepare you too when you do get to the border or the boundary. You'll know it because they like to leave messages.
Exciting.
And it's gruesome.
Normally,
These are pretty notes that they're leaving.
Yeah, there's usually severed heads. There was one time it was just testicles.
Oh.
That one was kind of funny.
that's creative.
That would probably be a very ballsy display.
Oh, it's good. Humor's rare here.
Yes, testicles are called
I like
balls.
you better. What did you say?
I said, yes, testicles are called balls.
Damn it.
All right. So are we gonna head straight out, or are we gonna stay here for a little while? What's the deal, Abe? What are we doing?
I feel like we might as well, stock up on supplies just in case.
Yeah.
We
If we are
may
gonna have
have
somebody
forgotten to do
guide
that
us.
before we left.
Yeah.
If we are going to have somebody guide us, we may want to give them a bit of time to get any kind of supplies they may need together as well.
They did say that it's only about a day's journey to the boundary.
Right.
And if you're saying this around Garak, he's essentially just like, we have people that regularly have to go close to the boundary with getting the different fruits and things. So you can just go with one of them.
I was told of other dangers that might lie in the wild here.
Oh,
Giant
yeah.
lizards.
Something that would be within this side of the border of your town as well, or would it be something that you have it well enough secured that that should not be an issue?
Well, we fight them regularly. The hobgoblins hunt them specifically. That's their main source of food. They don't care about the fruit. And they use them in their coliseum sometimes as well. Yeah, we call them the Ordo, which in giant Ettenroar you would know is big fucking lizard.
Is there, do you have any trappers here? Could we perhaps catch some of these things and transport them so that maybe we could trade to the goblins or hobgoblins for peaceful passage?
We could give you chains and things. I don't know if we have, it depends on which kind you're going for. Some aren't going to fit in a box.
Well, I was thinking a wagon with a few exotic creatures. If they use them in the Coliseum, they might be willing to deal with us.
That's fair. We can see what we can help you with. You'd have to pay for them.
Well, absolutely. But if that's something your people are capable of doing, we could discuss that further.
Yeah, we've had to capture some before. We can set you up. Funny enough, I don't know if you met him. He tends to be asleep the whole journey. But Drumnar was on with you. He usually does most of the trapping. You might be able to deal with him.
Wasn't that the dude you were getting along with there at Burrow?
Getting along with is a bit of a stretch there, but the guy I was talking to, yeah.
Don't worry, Drumnar's rude to everyone. If you feel like it was a bad interaction, for him it might have been a really good one.
Yeah, no.
Grumnar. Maybe his name should have been Grumpnar.
Yeah, another joke. There you go.
It's Grumnar. It's not Grumpnar.
Drumnar, actually.
Oh, right.
Okay. So you're able to go talk to Drumnar fairly easily. You're able to get some supplies. Very nice people here. Getting everything. They're happy to do trade with you. Everything is very cheap here.
I would like to see if I could purchase a caged wagon full of these exotic creatures.
So he doesn't have any that have any creatures. Like he doesn't have any creatures that he can give, but he can give cages and stuff so you can trap some.
But I don't want to trap them. I want to pay someone to trap them.
Grumnar just kind of does a big sigh and he looks at you for a minute and he goes, so you want a wagon, cages, chains, plus trapped lizards.
Yes.
He
And
looks-
preferably by tomorrow morning.
150 gold.
Done.
Jeez.
He called my bluff. Okay. He takes it and then he's like, I'll see what I can do.
Okay, I'll meet you in the morning. We'll have coffee and and since I'm paying you way more than that's worth, if you could just take us to the border, that would be preferable too. You can borrow some oxen or something to help drag the wagon there, right? And then we'll just have the hobgoblins take them from there if they agree to the deal.
Not gonna argue with you. That works.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'm gonna slap him on the shoulder and head to the bar.
How big are these? Oh,
He just kind of stares at the pouch of money for a minute. You say that to him.
uh-huh.
Well, it depends. Some are as small as you,
What's that supposed to mean?
that they're small. For a big fucking lizard. But they're still large. And you just met Grok. I think the biggest one we saw, let's see, maybe 6 times bigger.
How big?
Maybe 6 times bigger
Than the smaller ones or than Garak?
than Grok.
Okay.
Maybe more. I don't really do numbers much.
I'd like to fashion a lasso while we're kind of hanging around town that can be adjusted accordingly.
Okay.
That'd be considered a land vehicle, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Okay, so while everybody's getting supplies ready and getting ready for somebody to go dinosaur hunting, essentially, we
Call me
will
Garak.
pick up here next time on Into the Elements.
Yay.
Woo.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you guys again in 2 weeks. If you'd like to reach out to us on any of our social medias, you can just search The Nerdy Niche on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and we can respond to you guys. And we hope to hear from you. Until next time, keep it nerdy out there.
Bye.
Bye.